Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. In today's video, we are finally going to be starting to finish the coffee bar makeover here in the kitchen. So a couple weeks ago, I had shared part 1 of this makeover, and in that video, we had demoed out the previous closet. I had shared our plans for this space. We went shopping for tile and cabinets and all of that, and we haven't done anything since that video. The area still looks the same. We have just been really busy the last couple of weeks, and if you've been watching my channel, then you've seen everything that we've been doing between our trip to the Northwest, working on a bedroom makeover at my in-laws house, and just a lot of other things going on. Life has just been busy, but now finally here over the next 2 weeks, we are going to finish this coffee bar area. In today's video, we will be tiling the entire back wall. We'll be sharing all of our plans, everything that we decided to do. I'll also just take you along on our day today and tomorrow. I want to give you guys an update about our 4th flock of chickens, because in part 1 of this coffee bar makeover, at the end of that video, I had shared when we got our 4th flock of chicks, and now a month later they have grown so much. So at the end of this video, I'll give you a quick update about those chicks, and then hopefully next week we will post the final part of this coffee bar makeover. So stay tuned to see how it all turns out. We're really excited to finally be finishing up this project. So last week I did go into Tucson and I went to Floor & Decor, Home Depot, and Lowe's to just get everything that we will need for the next step in this makeover. So I purchased the 2 cabinets for this area from Home Depot. So in the previous video, I had said that I was going to do like a medium-sized cabinet and then the fridge and then a small cabinet, but we ended up deciding to just keep everything even and centered. So instead of that, we are going to be centering the fridge in the middle of this coffee bar area and then doing 2 12-inch cabinets on either side. After I purchased the cabinets from Home Depot, I headed over to Floor & Decor to return our tile samples and to buy the tile that we had picked out. I was really excited to go to Floor & Decor because they had just opened up a new store in town, so it was fun to check it out and see all of the new displays. They had a lot of really beautiful displays by the front door. And then I headed back into the tile to try and find the tile that we had picked out for the coffee bar. And the tile we had chosen was that dark gray hexagon tile that had like the white veining running through it. It had a matte finish, a bit of a texture to it, and I really loved that tile. That was also the tile that all of you voted for, and so that was the tile that we were planning to purchase. But when I went to buy the boxes of tile at Floor & Decor, I realized that it was $175 per box, and we needed about 2.5 boxes. So that was an immediate no way. There was no way we were going to be spending that much on tile. So I ended up finding this other tile that is slightly similar, and it was less than half the price. So I ended up getting this tile. It's a little bit lighter than we were hoping the tile would be, but it still ended up looking beautiful in the space. So we were planning to do butcher block countertop, but that was going to be about $215. And when I was in Lowe's, I saw this cheaper alternative for only $115. It's the same size as the butcher block, maybe a little bit thinner, but not much, and we were able to save $100. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I will link this down below. Okay, so we're back to the present day, and I'm actually currently having to run to Lowe's to pick up the flooring. We had to order it online and we can't ship it to the house. I have to pick it up in the store, and I also have to grab a couple of electrical things for Jalen. I have to pick up some items for the chickens. Jalen was going to come to Tucson to pick all of this up, but him and the boys are packaging eggs this morning, and that is going to take them several hours. So Levi and I just ran into Tucson quickly to run all of these errands, and then we'll head back home. Hopefully we'll be back home by around 1 o'clock, and then we can get started on the project. Well, I didn't end up getting home by 1 p.m. because while I was at Lowe's, I got a call from my orthodontist saying that my aligners were in and I had to come in for an appointment either at 4 p.m. that day or I'd have to come back into Tucson the following week. So we decided I should just stay in town until 4 p.m. for the appointment so I wouldn't have to drive an hour into town the next week. So because of that, I didn't end up getting home until almost 6 p.m. that evening. So the only thing Jalen was able to get done was the flooring. He couldn't really start on anything else while I was gone because I was picking up the flooring at Lowe's and I was also picking up the can lights, and he wanted to do the electricity before the tile. Thankfully, replacing this flooring didn't take long, and the reason he had to replace it was because there used to be a door on this back wall over here to the right. So there is a transition strip on the floor, and once that transition strip is removed, there is a large gap between the flooring and the wall. So he just had to pop up a couple of these floorboards and put in some new boards that would go all the way to the edge of the wall. So we ended up not getting as much done yesterday as we were hoping to. So we've got a long list of things to get done in this coffee bar area today. So starting off, Jalen is working on the electrical and he's marking where he's going to put the plug in and also the switch. So we're going to have two plug-ins, one right here for the ice machine and the coffee maker, and then also a plug down on the floor for that mini fridge. And yesterday at Lowe's, I got 3 small can lights for the ceiling. So we'll be spacing those out up here on the ceiling, and they do also tilt, so we can kind of have those tilting towards the shelves. So our Factor box just got delivered to our doorstep, which was perfect timing because it's lunchtime. I had it scheduled to come this week because I knew that this was going to be a super busy week and that it would be really nice to have just some convenient meals ready to go in the fridge. So I've been getting Factor boxes for probably over 6 months now, and I usually like to get 1 or 2 boxes a month, and I will schedule them for a week that I know is going to be really busy, where we're going to be working a lot, doing projects, and on a day like today, we can just pull one of these meals out of the fridge, heat it up in the microwave, and it's ready to eat in less than 2 minutes. These are fresh, never frozen meals, and they're chef prepared, dietitian approved. There's no prep, no mess. You literally just take the cover off of the container, poke a few holes in the plastic, pop it in the microwave, and it's ready to eat in less than 2 minutes. I also got 4 of their cold pressed juices in this order. They have really delicious juice and smoothies, and it's really easy to edit your meals on the Factor website. You can set up which meals you want, what preferences you have. They have a lot of really great fall meals to pick from right now, and it's also really easy to go on there and skip a week if you want to. In just like 2 clicks, I can skip a week, and I can also schedule which week I want my box to be delivered. Our whole family loves Factor meals. They're delicious. We're always excited when a box shows up at the door. It just makes my life a little bit easier that week, and we would just highly recommend at least giving it a try. And I do have a really awesome discount code with my code Hannah Happy Home 50, you can get 50% off your first factor box. So take advantage of that awesome deal while it's going on and save 50% off your box. We know that you are going to love these meals. Okay, so I just unboxed this ice maker and I can't wait to get this set up. This is small enough that it can just set right on top of the countertop. Inside this little door is where the ice cubes will be. This is a nugget ice maker. This is going to be perfect for iced coffees, and you don't have to have this hooked up directly to a water line. You can just fill it up by hand, which will be really nice because we aren't going to have a water line in that area. Jalen is applying mortar and tile to this back wall, and usually you would wait to tile until after you install the countertop, but we can't install the countertop until we get the fridge, which won't get here until Friday, and we wanted to go ahead and start on this area, so he is going ahead and tiling before we put in the cabinets and the countertop and the fridge and all of that, and this will be just fine. He's putting it down a little bit lower so the countertop will just go right up against the tile, and he did put this small board onto the back wall for the tile to sit on so it doesn't slip as it's drying. Stay tuned to see how this tile turned out with the grout and the light shining down on it. It just turned out really beautiful. Jalen did such an amazing job on this. So thankful for all the hard work that he did on this area over these 2 days, doing all of the electrical and the tiling and everything. He always does an awesome job. And stay tuned to see what color you think that we should paint the cabinets. Once we set the cabinets in here, got them cut and installed and everything, I just think that white would probably flow well with the rest of the kitchen, but I would still love to hear your opinion. What color do you think the cabinet should be? And this is probably a good time to share what we decided to do about this opening. So in part 1 of this makeover, I had asked you whether or not you think that we should arch this opening to match the arched opening that's right beside of it. And I would say that probably 85% of you said to arch the opening, and we were thinking we'd probably arch the opening as well, but the longer that we thought about it, the more we thought about how much more work that's going to be. We'd probably have to hire someone to come in and do the texturing and just get it to blend well with the rest of the wall. So that would be an added expense, and it would also just be, of course, a lot more work. So for now, we decided to just leave it as a square opening, and if for some reason in the future it really starts bugging us that we wished we would have just arched the opening, we can go ahead and do that, but for now we are just thinking that it will probably stay square. Okay, so we're done working inside. We're ready to come outside for a little while. It is such a beautiful evening. The kids are in the backyard playing, and there is actually some storm clouds in the distance, which is unusual for fall here in Arizona. So that's really exciting. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a little bit of rain. The boys are heading out to do chores, so we're gonna walk out there with them to the chicken pen, and I want to show you guys the chicks that I showed you in the last video. In that video, I showed you our new 4th flock of chicks, and now they have grown up so much in the last couple of weeks. So I just wanted to give you a quick update. So here is what the chicks looked like when you saw them in that video last month, and now this is what they're looking like. They are about half size at this point, and usually this breed of chickens will be starting to lay eggs at about 5 months old. Jalen had actually just let them out in their pasture the day before. They were finally big enough to be able to go out in the pasture and run around outside, and they were very excited when he first opened up the sides of their pen. They were running outside and then they'd run back inside because they get scared, and they're starting to get used to it now, and they really enjoy just running around in the dirt, scratching, and they are pretty happy chickens. While we were finishing up gathering the eggs, it did start to rain, and it poured the rain 3 different times that evening, which was a huge blessing because we are in desperate need for more rain. We spent the rest of the evening on the back porch until dark just enjoying the rain, and it was a little bit chilly, so we turned on the fire. I got out some marshmallows and we roasted marshmallows over the fire and just enjoyed the beautiful rain. Okay, it's the next morning and Jalen is grouting the tile, and we didn't want to have to buy any grout because we had so many different bags of grout in the storage room that were about a quarter full from previous projects. So we decided to just mix 2 of those quarter full bags together to make a half bag, and then that is the grout that we used for this tile. So first off, we mixed the 2 powders together just to be sure that they were mixed very well. It was like a lighter gray color and a darker gray. And then he added the water, mixed that, and now he is grouting. And we had recently gotten a couple of boxes of apples from a local orchard. These are organic apples and so delicious. So I'm going to be probably making some homemade applesauce and apple pies, apple crisp, all of the things. And if I end up canning some homemade applesauce, I'll definitely film that for a future video. Now that he's done with the tile, I am going to paint this whole area because the inside of this closet was obviously not painted the same color as our walls. When they were spraying the ceilings, I think they just went ahead and sprayed that same white color inside the closet. So all of this had to be painted, and our wall color is Agreeable Gray by Sherwin-Williams. Okay, so Jalen finished the tile work, I finished up the painting, and now we are ready to start working on the cabinets, the countertop, the shelves, all of that. So we've got the 2 cabinets in here. These are the 12-inch unfinished cabinets from Home Depot. They have these unfinished cabinets in a ton of different sizes, I think all the way down to 9 inches, but these are the 12-inch cabinets, and the reason that I went with the 12-inch is because of the size of the fridge that I ordered. So the fridge that I ordered is a little over 18 inches, so it should fit in the middle of these cabinets perfectly. But right now we are going to start working at trimming the backs of these cabinets because obviously they are sticking out several inches, so we are going to have to cut off at least 3.5 inches. This cabinet was pretty heavily damaged back in that corner, but I didn't care because we were going to be chopping 3 inches off of the back of this cabinet anyway. They gave me a discount of like $50 off, so I only had to pay $30 for this cabinet, which was amazing, and the damage doesn't matter at all because we are completely chopping off the back 3.5 inches of this cabinet. Okay, so the cabinets are trimmed and set in place. Jalen did a great job on this, and he was able to save the drawers just by trimming the metal pieces for the drawers and then reattaching them to the sides. And that is as far as we are going to get in this video. In next week's video, we will be completely finishing this space, so stay tuned for that. We couldn't finish attaching the cabinets and painting them and everything in this video because we don't have that fridge yet, and we have to have the fridge so that we can trim everything into place, attach it all, paint it, and then we will put on this countertop that I'm showing you here. And like I said, I will try to link this countertop down below. So last night we had about 3 different storms and got a lot of rain, which was a huge blessing. We really needed the rain, but with that first storm, this portion of the fence fell down. So this evening we're going to screw that back into place. Back when we had done the landscaping at the front of the house, I had added some solar lights to this area to shine up onto the house in between the windows. And now over 2 years later, basically all of those solar lights had stopped working. So I was going to replace all of these. I had a second box on hand, so I just swapped out all of the solar lights with these new ones. I really love how these look in the evening, shining up onto the house. It's just a great way to add something a little extra to the front of your house just by getting some inexpensive solar lights. And that is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, just seeing us work on some house projects, coming along on these 2 or 3 days with us, and also seeing all of the progress in the coffee bar area. I'm sorry that that area did not get completely finished in today's video, but you will see the finished space in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Sometimes these projects just end up taking longer than we think, and I love to show you all of the little details just so that you can see how much goes into even just a little project like this. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate each of you so much, and we will see you next week with a new video. Bye.